What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'm doing another silly season video. We're going to recap everything that has been answered and unanswered in regards to silly season. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. Let's first go through all the answer questions that we know for the 2023 to 2024 NASCAR silly season. First, a few months ago, Hailie Deegan would confirm that she'd be joining AM Racing in 2024. She'll drive the number 15 car in the Xfinity Series and drive for them on a multi-year deal starting in the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. Then a month later, Riley Herbst would confirm that he would be returning to Stewart-Haas Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024, driving the number 98 car after having a really strong year in Xfinity, getting his first career victory and the year off on a really good note. Riley Herbst looks to build on that and have a really strong 2024. Then about a week or two after that, I think it was after Vegas, Corey Heim would confirm that he would also be returning to Tricon Garage in 2024. Corey Heim had a really strong year in the Truck Series and nearly won the championship, and I expect him to be a massive championship threat and contender in 2024. Then the next day after that, Christian Eckes would confirm that he would be returning to McAnally-Hilgeman Racing in 2024. After scoring 4 wins in the Truck Series, he'll be looking to win his first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series championship in 2024. Then the next week, Dean Thompson would confirm that he would be returning to Tricon Garage in 2024. Dean Thompson had a decent year in Truck Series with Tricon Garage and also has sponsorship and funding, which is a big reason why he's sticking along with Tricon in 2024. Then a very big shocking bombshell happened when Jesse Love would be leaving Toyota and be joining Richard Childress Racing in 2024 and will drive the number 2 car. He will also have Danny Stockman as a crew chief. Jesse Love, very talented driver from the ARCA ranks. It's crazy to see he's moving up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but he's a pretty good driver and can get the best out of equipment. I expect him to have a pretty good season. Then a couple days after that, Bailey Curry would confirm he'd be joining Nice Motorsports on a full-time basis in 2024. Bailey Curry has some solid and good runs, and I think he will be an outside championship threat and contender in 2024. Then right before the weekend, I believe it was Homestead or Martinsville, Eric Almirola would confirm they would not be returning to Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024. He looks to run the Xfinity Series and Truck Series. A lot of people speculate he could be going to the team like Junior Motorsports or RSS Racing, or maybe even Joe Gibbs Racing perhaps in 2024. But nonetheless, Eric Almirola will not be full-time Cup racing in 2024. Then, right before the weekend of Phoenix, Cole Custer would confirm that he would be returning to Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024 in the Xfinity Series, driving the 00 car. Cole Custer went on to win the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship after that and looks to go back-to-back in 2024. During, I believe, that same day, Jordan Anderson Racing would also announce their 2024 driver lineup, confirming that Jeb Byrne will return to the 27 car and Parker Rassop will stay in the 31 car in the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season after both drivers had pretty good years. Then a couple weeks after, Kyle Weatherman would confirm that he would be joining DGM Racing full-time in 2024, driving the number 91 car. After having a really solid year, the last couple years I should say, this would be the first time that Kyle Weatherman has been full-time in NASCAR's top-tier divisions. Then 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jake Garcia confirmed that he'd be joining ThorSport Racing on a full-time basis in 2024. While the number has not been disclosed, a lot of speculation right now is that he'll be driving the number 13 truck once again in 2024. Then about a week or two ago, Josh Williams would be announced he would be joining Colleague Racing in 2024, driving the number 11 car in the Xfinity Series. Josh Williams has been one of the more underrated drivers in the sport, but he's also got a really strong and great personality. So therefore, I think he'll have a pretty decent and great year with the team in 2024. Then about a week or two ago, Jace Purdy also confirmed they'd be joining Spire Motorsports in 2024, as his contract extension that he had announced with Kyle Busch Motorsports will be transitioning over to Spire Motorsports in 2024. Remember, Spire Motorsports had purchased Kyle Busch Motorsports Truck Series organization and team for next season. And finally, it was announced yesterday or 2 days ago that RFK Racing will run a third car in the Daytona 500. David Reagan is going to run this car in the Daytona 500. This will be an open entry, and RFK may run this car in more than just the Daytona 500 in 2024, but nothing's official at this point. So those are the answer questions in regards to silly season over the course of the last few months. Now let's go through all the unanswered questions for 2024. The biggest unanswered question is what is happening to the 10 car for 2024? Well, Noah Gragson is expected to join Stewart-Haas Racing in 2024 and drive the number 10 car. He's also expected to have Black Rifle Coffee and Bass Pro Shops as a sponsor. Like I said, a massive reason why Noah Gragson's getting behind the wheel of that number 10 car is because he brings sponsorship and funding. We've already talked about this, but both Riley Herbst and Cole Custer are going to be staying in the NASCAR Xfinity Series next year. And there's really not a lot of drivers outside of Noah Gragson that are available currently at the moment. Now, I am worried that Noah Gragson going into 2024 is going to end up struggling with Stewart-Haas Racing because of the fact that SHR did struggle in 2023. But still, I think that we're going to see Gragson do a little better with Stewart-Haas Racing, maybe not insanely better, but like I said, I think this overall will be a much better year for Noah Gragson in 2024 than what he had in 2023, but I still expect Noah to finish near the back of the pack, considering Stewart-Haas Racing has been a struggling organization, and you're not going to have a driver like Kevin Harvick really coming in and helping out. But nonetheless, Noah Gragson, we all know for sure, will be joining Stewart-Haas Racing. We're just waiting on the announcement. We're hopeful to have that announcement before Christmas, but we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. Next, let's talk about Ty Dillon. Now, Ty Dillon has been the front runner for a long time to potentially be the driver who could drive the 16 Cup car for Kaulig Racing in 2024. However, recent reports, and people are putting this out as well, that Ty Dillon may in fact not drive the 16 car for Kaulig Racing in 2024. I know that Bob Pox and Dale Jr. have kind of said it. No, Ty Dillon is a favorite currently at the moment. But the question to be right now is who would be the driver that would take over the 16 car if AJ Allmendinger does in fact return to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. That's something to keep your eyes out on for sure. Again, Ty Dillon is a favorite for the 16 car at the moment, but some people are speculating that he may not end up going to Kaulig Racing, as a matter of fact, in 2024. Only time will tell, but Ty Dillon is still a front runner, but he may in fact not join Kaulig Racing in 2024, at least in the NASCAR Cup Series. Next, let's talk about Matt DiBenedetto. About a week or two ago, Matt DiBenedetto confirmed that he is working on his 2024 NASCAR plans. Now, Matt DiBenedetto more than likely will not be in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2024 unless he goes to a team like Rick Ware Racing or somehow he lands at 10 or 16. He likely won't be in the NASCAR Cup Series. There is a lot of talk that he can maybe be in the Xfinity Series in 2024. I thought maybe he would go to that 11 car for Kaulig Racing next year, but of course that 11 car is off table, but he still could end up in the number 10 All-Star car that they have in 2024. There's also a possibility that he could go to Joe Gibbs Racing's All-Star car. I don't think he's going to, of course, go to the full-time entry, but he could go to their All-Star car and drive that number 19 car in 2024. And then, of course, other possibilities that are not out the window. He could go to a team like Beecham McLeod Motorsports. He could go to other organizations like Spire if they were open up their Xfinity program. And there's also, of course, if like a team like RFK ever wanted to expand back down to Xfinity, they absolutely could do that. Go to Kaulig Racing, have a driver like Carl Edwards somehow come in and help with the organization. But still, you look at Matt DiBenedetto, I think he's someone who definitely has a really good chance and opportunity to find a ride for next year. I think he deserves an opportunity to be in a really good seat. I think the big question right now, though, is will someone fund him? That's a massive question, but he's working on that, and hopefully he'll have a ride for 2024. It's a big thing to keep your eyes out on going into 2024. Next, let's talk about Shane Van Gisbergen. We already know that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to run a developmental schedule for 2024. What we don't know at this point is what teams he is going to drive for. Obviously, more than likely, he is going to drive the number 91, Project 91 entry that we will see probably for 6-7 races for him. And then I would imagine in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series, that's where a majority of his oval races are going to be. So I expect him to run a majority of the road course races in the Cup Series. With the Xfinity Series and Truck Series, that's where a lot of his learning is going to come from in the ovals. He has publicly said that he wants to go full-time Cup racing in 2025. And for him to do that, he is going to have a really strong and good season in the lower series, which I think he's going to get up to speed very, very quickly and really slowly. But I think SVG will have something announced here in the not-so-distant future. Now let's talk about AJ Allmendinger. I've already talked about the fact that Ty Dillon more than likely is going to go to the 16 car in 2024. AJ is still a little unclear on his future. We already know, of course, that he will be returning to Kaulig Racing in the 2024 season, but there's a lot of unknowns on where he'll be headed. more than likely, a lot of speculation is that AJ Allmendinger will return to the Xfinity Series to drive the number 16 car in 2024 in Xfinity. We're going to talk about the guy who will be replacing her in just a little bit, but AJ doesn't bring as much funding as Ty Dillon. Now, AJ will run a part-time Cup Series season regardless, so he'll be in the Cup Series at least part of the year, probably on the road courses and maybe the Daytona 500 mile and a couple other races in that part-time 13 car that we've seen over the course of the last few years, probably with Josh Williams, maybe a couple other drivers get a chance to attempt it. But AJ, I think, will have a ride for 2024, at least be in Xfinity, but I don't think it'll be Cup racing in 2024. Next, let's talk about Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs Racing, of course, has not announced their 2024 Xfinity Series organization. We already know that John Hunter is moving up to the Cup Series to drive for Legacy Motor Club, and Sammy Smith is joining Junior Motorsports in 2024. So who is going to take over the Joe Gibbs Racing seats? Well, the expectation behind the scenes is that Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed are going to be joining Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I would imagine that Chandler's probably going to end up getting the 20 car, and Sheldon's probably going to end up getting the 18 car. A massive reason why Sheldon Creed may go there is because of sponsorship and funding, but also it's really the only better rider right now than Richard Childress Racing or maybe even Junior Motorsports. And Junior Motorsports is completely off the table with Sammy Smith going over there. And Sheldon Creed, I think, will have a good opportunity to win, but he's going to have some pretty high expectations going into 2024. As for Chandler Smith, I do believe that Chandler Smith overall will be a championship threatened contender, and I think he's going to have a good year. I would imagine that announcement in regards to Chandler Smith is going to come before Christmas, and we're probably going to see, of course, some Cup guys run part-time with the team like Ty Gibbs. John Hunter Nemechek will probably drive for the team, at least in that number 19 All-Star car. Maybe Trevor Bayne comes into play, and also Ryan Truex likely also will come into play, but we'll see what happens, but unless Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed are going to be headed over to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024. Now let's talk about Frankie Muniz. There was a report and rumor a few months ago that Frankie Muniz was going to be headed to RSS Racing in 2024. However, Frankie Muniz and multiple people at the team have denied that Frankie Muniz is going to be headed there. I still think there's a chance possibility that Frankie does in fact go to RSS Racing, but again, nothing is officially confirmed at this point. A report that came out said that G-Coin was going to be the sponsor, and G-Coin, from what I understand, is a loyal sponsor to Joe Graf Jr., and that is not a sponsor loyal to Frankie Muniz. So, while I do think there's a good chance Frankie could be headed to RSS Racing, I don't think it's going to be with G-Coin. He also could go to ThorSport Racing. That's been a rumor going up as well, but I think Frankie will have a ride for 2024. And finally, let's talk about Brody Kostecki. Brody Kostecki, of course, I believe just most recently won the Supercars Championship for 2023, and he is going to run at least part-time in the Cup Series with Richard Childress Racing, run around 4 to 5 Cup Series races in 2024. Erebus Racing, Erebus, I don't know how you say it, is going to be joining Cup as well, and will likely use the number 33 that they've used in the Cup Series as well. Brody's an extremely talented driver, and unlike Shane Van Gisbergen, he does have a little bit more oval experience, Brody does, because he actually competed in the ARCA West Series. I do believe Brody Kostecki will have a decent overall good year in Cup, and I think he'll be somewhat competitive, and he may potentially go full-time Cup racing in the future, which could affect drivers at the organization in the not-so-distant future. So, that is going to be it for the NASCAR Silly Season Update / Unanswered and Answer Questions video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's video. What do you think? Do you think Noah Gragson goes SHR or not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And what do you think happens with Matt DiBenedetto? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to talk about this bold NASCAR predictions for 2024. And then on Monday, you'll be having 10 drivers who I think should return to NASCAR in 2024, maybe in the future. And then Tuesday, we'll likely have a NASCAR news video dropping on the channel. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel as we get close to Christmas, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.